Welcome to Travel Weekly TV, where we go behind the scenes speaking to the industry's heavyweights. Today I have Chris from Globus Family of Brands. Welcome, Chris.
Hi Hoda, how are you?
Thank you, very well.
Good.
Excited to have you here. Can you tell our audience a little bit more about you and what do you do there?
Sure, yeah. Well, I head up the marketing for Asia Pacific for Globus Family of Brands. And that comprises of Avalon Waterways, Globus and Cosmos, so touring brands and river cruise. So I look after a very skilled team, fantastic team that look after Australia, New Zealand, and actually we have a distribution network around Southeast Asia as well. So look after the marketing for that region as well. So that's probably something people don't realise I do as well, but it's part of the remit and keeps me very busy.
Many hats.
Yes, absolutely.
Many hats. So what's something that makes you extra passionate about working for Globus?
I think really it's the culture within the organisation. We're 96 years old this year. We're still owned by the families that set it up all those years ago.
Wow.
So it has that real strong family feel to the company, even though it's a global organisation. We have offices all around the world. We sell products all around the world, but it has that really kind of close family feel to it. So the culture is very inclusive, collaborative, and that's really makes me proud to work for the organisation.
What's something people might not know about Globus Family of Brands or yourself?
Yeah, I might skip myself because that could go off on a tangent, but around the Globus Family of Brands, I think really how coach touring has been sort of elevated through the years, and I think what a lot of agents may not know is different touring styles that actually Globus Family of Brands have. We have 12 in total. So we have a touring style to suit everyone, whether it's the classic touring, small group tours, private tours, or something that I think is going to get a lot of traction is choice touring under the Globus brand, which has brought in elements of our Avalon River Cruise, so we have a choice of excursions on Avalon, and bringing that into the coach touring area. So it really helps break people's experience into different things. For example, you could be in Scotland, you could choose to go and see a castle, play around a golf, or go whisky tasting, which is probably the one I would do. But
wow.
Yeah, so the group can break off and have different experiences through that one tour. So yeah, the 12 different touring styles is something that we're trying to get across, and I think we're trying to educate the agents on.
It's interesting because when traditionally you think of coach touring and you think it's a set itinerary, let's wake up at 5:30 a.m, let's get on the bus, let's stop, this is what we're doing, and that's it. But it's great that it's no longer like that.
Absolutely, yeah. It's really taking people's needs and wants out of their travel habits and what their desires are to actually experience each destination and actually bring that into a tour. And another touring style is our undiscovered touring range, which takes people off the beaten path. So away from where the traditional coach touring may take customers. We always include the must-see sites, but then take people off the beaten path to experience the destination in a slightly different way.
That way, people can be enticed to keep going back to those destinations. Because you go to a place and you think, okay, I've done the bucket list stuff, now I really want to get to know the place.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we do find actually with our customers, they may start on a classic coach tour and then sort of second, third times go on a choice touring option or undiscovered touring option. And I say we have 12 in total, so there's plenty to choose from.
So what's your favourite then?
Oh, my favourite. I knew you were going to ask me this one.
And it has to be something from the Globus Family of Brands
yep.
or anywhere, really.
Okay, yeah. We've got over 450 to choose from, so it's quite a lot. But I think there's a few, so I'm going to pick a couple of points from a few if I can.
Your dream itinerary.
Okay, yeah, so around the world. There we go. But I think Canada's always got a special place in my heart. It's one of the first places I ever went to from a long-haul destination out from the UK, where I came from. And actually the experience of flying into the Canadian Rockies and just seeing the awe of the Rockies through the coach tour through there was amazing. We're having a fantastic trip, our Canadian masterpiece, which incorporates coach touring, the Rocky Mountaineer train journey, and then you can extend a cruise up to Alaska as well, which I'm fortunate enough to do, and saw the black bears and went out whale watching. It was absolutely fantastic. From a riverside, river cruising in general is just an awesome way of travelling. You get into the really quaint towns and villages along the European waters, and just experiencing that. And one of my favourite places is Rudesheim. It's such a beautiful little town. You can hike up into the little hills and go wine
where is
tasting. It's in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's along the Rhine, and you can visit some wineries, but then you can experience what they call a Rudolph coffee, which is just a big experience within itself. It's alcoholic coffee.
I was just about to ask, was it alcoholic?
It
It's
is.
very rare for them not to include alcohol.
That's right. With big lump of cream on top, they set fire to it, and it's a big production, and it's
how special.
I had a couple of those, and I went a bit rosy afterwards. So yeah.
Do you remember the itinerary?
I do. Luckily I do. Yeah, but it's just river cruising and seeing some of those places along that journey is just an amazing experience. And yeah, so very fortunate enough actually, as we all do, work in travel, to experience these things.
Definitely. Tell me about a travel memory that's very special to you.
Yeah, a few again, if I may.
Sure.
Growing up, again, fortunate, growing up in UK with Europe on my doorstep, so just family adventures. I remember sort of going back in the days where you didn't have to wear seatbelts, so being chucked in the back of the station wagon, surrounded by all the suitcases, my dad driving to the south of France, staying in campsites down there, and that was just an amazing experience, going out fishing and things like that. It was just
You mentioned
fantastic.
earlier that you had a brother.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about that. Did you travel together?
Together, yeah. So he's a few years older. So yeah, that was good to travel with someone close with age, similar sort of interests, and funny experiences along the way, no doubt. But that was great, spending time with the family, doing that growing up from a holiday perspective. But I suppose closer to now with my own family and the kids, Fiji holiday was fantastic, just a complete break. It was awesome to spend time in Fiji with the family. And another one that really stands out was the first trip back into Europe after COVID. We christened a new ship, and I really saw Europe through a different lens. And one bit that took my breath away, and I'd seen it before, was in Budapest in the Parliament buildings. Just lit up at night, we cruised in, standing on the sky deck, and it just took my breath away. And it really, because we'd travel starved for so many years, that it really did sort of see Europe through a new lens and just got me to appreciate things in a different way.
It's great because after COVID, you get to see the same cities but in a completely different way.
You do, absolutely, and I think you do the architecture, everything around it, you just take in differently. And that's, growing up in Europe, I took it for granted, and going back now was just an amazing experience, and something that will live with me forever, actually.
With that particular itinerary, is that your best-selling itinerary?
We have a few. We have our romantic Rhine from an Avalon point of view. So you start in Amsterdam and work your way down to Basel. Great experience, and that's where Rudolph is one of the stops en route. And from a touring perspective, actually, we have a few. Canada, the Masterpiece I mentioned earlier, is one of our most popular. We also have Britain and Ireland in depth, but Britain is still very popular with our clients at the moment. So yeah.
Of course, it has to be, and it's dear to your heart, I'm sure.
Of course, yeah. I might have a slight passion
bias.
there. Yeah, a little bit of a bias, absolutely.
You said passion, I said bias. Same, but different.
It is, yeah.
Is there a particular trend that you've seen in 2024?
Yeah, I think, Europe for everyone has been very, very popular, but what we are certainly seeing from Globus Family of Brands' point of view, both across river and coach, is actually Generation X becoming more prominent within our demographic, so which is really great for us. So we're actually appealing to a younger audience. I think that really comes into the choice of touring styles, so there's different choices that appeal to a slightly younger audience. And from a river point of view, we have our active and discovery river cruises, which kind of flips the experience on its head. So about 80% are either active or discovery excursions. So you can go kayaking, hiking, biking, painting classes, cooking classes. Obviously we still see the cathedrals and the churches along the way, but that really has skewed our demographic down a little bit from an age point of view, which is great from us.
What's the youngest traveller you've seen on a river cruise? Because traditionally, river cruises, they've got an older demographic, but that's changed with COVID. What's the youngest?
9. Yeah, so 9 years of age has travelled with us. So yeah, it's quite a broad range. We have 9 up to probably around 90. So it does. Our average age is sort of somewhere in the middle. So it's 9, but it's something that we're finding coming out a lot more now of even people taking their parents with us, or even parents taking their kids. So that is becoming more popular. And I think those type of excursions that you can have on our river cruises, make it a little bit more appealing for those multi-generational travelling families. Agents can visit our travel agent portal for more information, or visit our websites, which is either Cosmos, Globus, or Avalon Waterways, and always.com.au.
Fantastic, Chris. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Oh, it's great to see you, and thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching Travel Weekly TV.